Greetings and welcome to another impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Yoshi's Crafted World. Yoshi's Crafted World is the latest platformer starring Nintendo's lovable green dinosaur mascot. After Kamek and Baby Bowser attempt to steal the Sundream Stone from Yoshi's Island, it explodes, with the gems that powered it scattered across a varied world. One of the Yoshis, or two if you're playing co-op, must set off on a perilous quest to retrieve the gems before the villains can get their mitts on them. One thing recent Yoshi games have become known for is switching aesthetics with each new release, and Crafted World, as you might guess by the name, is no exception. In 2015, Yoshi's Woolly World on Wii U took us to a gorgeous world made entirely of yarn. This time around, we're transported to a world made from papercraft and cardboard boxes. Crafted World is just as bright and beautiful a game as I've come to expect from Nintendo's mascot games. The attention to detail in the art style, environments and animation that make up the world are utterly gorgeous. This is when a Nintendo game is at its best, proving that a signature aesthetic and boundless creativity can look just as good as a hyper-realistic AAA release on another platform. Even when you flip levels and play with the camera on the other side, a gameplay mechanic I'll talk about momentarily, the game still looks great. It's a neat touch to see that the levels are held together by tape and literally made from cardboard, paper and boxes. You can almost picture the game's environments having been made by an artistic kid with access to boxes and art supplies, and the gameplay being what happens when their imagination takes over. From a gameplay perspective, Crafted World is a little bit less imaginative. It doesn't really break any new ground, playing pretty much how you'd expect a new Yoshi game to play. You'll make your way through a series of varied levels, collecting collectibles and swallowing enemies to turn into eggs that you can throw at other enemies, coins, collectibles, or even environmental objects. This isn't a bad thing, by the way. The best word to describe Crafted World would be nice. This is, quite simply put, a nice, relaxing game that doesn't ask too much of you, instead content to showcase its beautifully imaginative worlds. It's more concerned with making sure you have a good time than necessarily challenging your dexterity or platform skills. So how does it still manage to be a compelling game? By making level completion a foregone conclusion. You can breeze through most of Crafted World's levels pretty quickly with ease. But that's not the focus here. Instead, the game puts its focus on exploration and environmental puzzle solving. Each level in Crafted World features between 5 and 8 smiley flowers to find. These flowers are what you'll need to collect to pass from one world to the next. But it's not punitive, far from it. The amount of smiley flowers you'll find will far exceed the amount you need to keep going, even if you're only very casually looking for them. Aside from finding them hidden in levels, you can also get extra flowers for finding 20 hidden red coins in a level, collecting 100 gold coins, and more. And if you're a completionist who must have every flower in the game, you'll also need to complete tasks given to you by the world's friendly robots, which usually require you to throw eggs at background scenery, or play through flipped versions of each level as fast as possible while finding lost pups. Basically, there's a ton to do, and a lot of reasons to revisit levels you've already cleared in the hunt for more flowers. It's an incredibly smart idea given the game's lack of overall challenge. You'll be so focused on exploring every nook and cranny of Crafted World that you'll often forget that the game is pretty easy to get through. Instead, you'll simply be having fun exploring, digging out every secret the game has to offer. You can even switch the game to mellow mode, which adds a host of helpful features, my favourite of which alerts you whenever you're in proximity of a smiley flower. I spent most of my time in mellow mode, using it to scratch my itch to collect every flower I could. Even the coins you collect in levels are put to use by buying new costumes for your Yoshi. In a uniquely novel twist on how cosmetic items in games work, you collect new costumes by spending currency earned in-game on a gacha-style machine that doesn't give you duplicate items and won't accept real-world money. I'd love to imagine such a system becoming standard for games, which would reward you with items for actually playing the game, as opposed to rewarding you for the size of your bank balance. All sarcasm aside, the costumes are a neat touch. They actually provide armor which mitigates damage from enemies. Plus, they're all basically boxes that Yoshi holds onto while they're running through the levels, which is absolutely adorable. All of this, and I haven't even said a peep about Crafted World's core gameplay mechanics. There's just not a lot to say. This is a solid platformer, the kind of which you'd expect coming from Nintendo. The controls are tight and responsive, and it's just a really enjoyable game to play. The game makes great use out of the variety of its levels, throwing new mechanics your way such as magnets that can be used as platforms, or a level that sees you pilot a giant Robo-Yoshi, which keep things interesting. I could simply continuously use the word nice over and over again to describe Yoshi's Crafted World. That's just the overriding feeling I've been left with as I've played it. Luckily for both of us, I own a thesaurus, but if you're in the market for a more relaxed, chilled out experience, then Yoshi's Crafted World is something that I can highly recommend. It's a perfect mix of creativity, beauty, exploration, and charm that will win over anyone who decides to dive into the game and take it for a spin. Plus, it's just a really bloody nice time. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a comment, like, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got tons of awesome videos coming every week, including review impressions, indie game of the week, debate-driven top 5 lists, video essays, and our weekly podcast where we discuss games, gaming culture, and the games industry. We also stream 3 times a week at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. But most importantly, have a fantastic day.